you need to be able to tell the difference between narcissism and confidence. So today we're going to go through some of the identifying traits of narcissism, some of the identifying traits of confidence, and how I discovered I'm kind of a narcissist. I'm a little bit of the last to know, right? Because I set up a camera and make videos of myself and listen to myself talk. But I discovered I'm a narcissist in some other ways. And at first I used to think a narcissist was just somebody who looked in the mirror all the time and was like just overly confident. But in reality, narcissism can be identified through kind of some different behaviors. And when I was learning about it and thinking about myself, I thought, oh my God, that's uncomfortably relatable. So I mean, one of the first things about narcissism that I could see even in my own life is that the roots of narcissism are based in the idea that love and acceptance is conditional and that you are not worthy of love and acceptance. And so you have to be a different version of yourself and hide some of the authentic components of yourself and maximize some of the smaller or even imaginary parts of yourself. And when I think about my childhood, I mean, I grew up Mormon and they have an entire system to decide if you're worthy or not of God's love. And like that probably had an effect on me, you know what I mean? And I can see how that would impact, you know, a lot of people's life path. And like the idea that you not only have to be a certain way to receive love, but if you are a different way, you will be punished. And then it starts to make sense that you learn those lessons as a child and then kind of bring those up through adulthood because it was a means of survival and it was very functional at a time in your childhood. But then you find yourself in an adult using childhood strategies that work in a child world, but they're not so applicable for an adult world. And another identifying factor is the need to align themselves, and I see it again in my own life, the need to align themselves with external values or external symbols. And so like it was really important for me to get to be around what I decided were attractive people. It was very important for me to maintain relationships or continue to promote the projection that, look at all these attractive people I'm around. That makes me attractive. I'm part of this group. And in reality, that is so blatant for other people to observe. And it does the exact opposite, right? It makes you look so much less confident. And when you're a narcissist, you don't actually have real confidence. And so you're forced to make kind of a mask of confidence. And that mask of confidence is totally hollow. And because you don't have any real confidence, you have no idea what actual confidence is like. And so it manifests, that facade of confidence comes out as arrogance. And then you maybe can start to recognize in your own life and other people in your life, oh, that wasn't confidence, that was arrogance. And that arrogance comes from like a really exaggerated sense of self-importance. The idea that I'm right and my opinions are more valuable and more correct than other people's. And like, if you've ever met someone that just feels entitled to cut the line or entitled to say, no, you're wrong, or if they're shown directly with direct, you know, straight-faced evidence that, no, you're blatantly wrong, they can't accept being wrong. It has to be some gaslit version of, you didn't understand what I was saying, or this information was never available to me in a reasonable way, or all kinds of excuses because the idea of being perceived as wrong doesn't fit into the mask facade of who they need to be accepted and have love. And if they show this fake part of them, you're gonna reject them and punish them. And like, they might not even know that shit's running in the back of their mind. I sure didn't, but I think about all the times I've done those exact things and thought, oh, Andrew, that wasn't a good choice to do those things. And then I think this is really common. You might meet someone on the internet and they might downplay parts of themselves and exaggerate imaginary or not real parts. And they'll hide that from you with the idea that I'm so great that once I know she doesn't know that I do drugs and smoke weed, but once she gets to know me, I'm so great, she'll overlook those things. And they'll blatantly lie because they think that they're so fantastic and they're so wonderful and they're the best, that once that your opinions are dumb and you're wrong. And so once you see that they're the exception, then everyone will agree and it'll be fine. And it's like, oh shit, that's a little bit familiar, because I mean, it's just a total overestimation of your value and you know why people are below you. And then it makes me think about, you know, even this situation here. When I first started making videos, I didn't give a shit about the value or the content. I just turned the camera on and just like let my personality come out. And I realized, even though I might have an enjoyable personality, if it's not wrapped in value, I mean, everybody, there's a shitload of personalities. And in fact, there's aspects of my personality, I mean, narcissism, right, that are not so attractive. And so it can be overlooked if it's wrapped around something or there's effort or value, but without providing any value. Yeah, bro, you know, if you don't provide any value, Andrew, you just being yourself is enough to be loved and is valuable and worth enough, but it's not enough for people to just decide, oh, your personality is a replacement for entertainment. Like, you have to still produce. And this was somewhat of a discovery to me. Another thing is that they're unable to like directly communicate problems. They're not able to say, you know, I have a problem with this, or this is outside of my boundaries, or they won't directly say something. They're gonna bathe everything in sarcasm and criticism. So they won't directly tell you, you know, I don't like that. They're just gonna say like, oh, is that what you're gonna do? And that doesn't leave a lot of space for the person you're communicating to legitimately resolve a problem or have any type of authentic communication to actually address something that is apparently a problem. Because you hide everything in criticism and condescension and sarcasm, there's not any space for authenticity. And I found that familiar a little bit. Another thing that I have recognized in aspects of my past self, and I guess current self, is the idea that it's not possible to even be vulnerable with another person, because that vulnerability requires access to the part of yourself that is built on promoting this fake hollow mask of yourself. And like, you don't even allow yourself to go in there, let alone allowing another person, like, hey, come here and look at all these things that I've spent my entire life creating an image to hide. And like, yeah, oh wow. One of the foundational aspects that separate narcissism and confidence is narcissism is made out of lies and arrogance, and confidence is made out of truth. And what I mean by that is confidence in yourself is being honest and authentic, recognizing that you're a human being with flaws, but also recognizing the good parts of yourself, the parts of yourself that you enjoy, and the parts of yourself that you value, that are totally immune from outside influences and outside people, because you recognize that you're yourself and other people are other people. And I think a clear example of this is at times when people who are arrogant and have narcissistic qualities, when there's something that makes them insecure, they become an exaggerated version of themselves. So like, I can remember at times there were other guys that were in a space where I felt very threatened. I wasn't even aware I was doing this, but maybe they had a lot of money, maybe they were very attractive, maybe they were funnier than me, and like, I just start getting louder and more brash, and it ends up coming off worse and worse and worse. And that's because I didn't have enough confidence in myself to say like, yeah, that's that dude and that's this other person, but I'm me and he can never be me, just like I can never be him. And so the things that are valuable about me are totally intact, regardless of the other things that are valuable in other people. And like, that concept is not even in your mind at the time when you're acting that way. It just feels like you're just reacting to being yourself. And I think that's like built on lies. The idea that, you know, you're feeling threatened because you feel that you're better than other people, and that other people having evidence being better than you at whatever it is needs to be like shut down. And that kind of lie about being better than other people, that's like what narcissism is totally built around. And the truth about accepting yourself and that you are not better than other people, you are just other from other people. That truth helps you build foundational confidence. And when people have confidence, it's somewhat easy to tell, but it can be camouflaged in narcissism. And again, I know because I can see all the things that I've done. You know how important it was for me to get recognition? I'm at my friend December's house and we're going outside to inside and everybody wipes their feet, but she doesn't see me wipe my feet, and I wipe my feet real good. And like they're talking about something else, I fucking interrupt like, hey guys, I wiped my feet on the mat, and everybody is like, all right, good job, buddy. And I needed that, but I didn't know. I didn't consciously think about it. It just came out of my body because I had no sense of temperance of my emotions. So I guess to summarize, the biggest indicator of confidence versus narcissism is the ability to remain constant. The ability that if other people or other situations around you change, then that's not really going to change your self-worth and self-value. Now, that's not to say, you know, oh, you're totally immune from people doing mean things or hurting your feelings, or you're totally immune from feeling good or excited when things go well in your life, or when people find you attractive or you get more money. That's not to say that at all. But that's just to say those things are not essential and necessary to your life.